Hey, what's up guys? Matt here. Today I'm coming at you with a tier maker video, arcade ticket game edition, guys. Everyone else is doing it, so why don't I do it, right? I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon. Peer pressure, baby. No, don't go fall into for peer pressure, kids. Be yourself. But no, I did see some other channels doing this that I occasionally watch, and I thought, oh, this would be a good idea to do like an arcade ticket game tier maker, because I do get a lot of people asking me, hey, what's the best game to play at the arcade where I can win the most tickets and, you know, get the most value for my money out of. So hopefully this video will give you guys some insight on that. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Arcade Matt. I do arcade videos, claw machines, coin pushers, mini golf, carnival games, and all this crazy crap on this channel, guys. So if you're new, you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you guys click the bell to turn on notifications. Do not forget, guys, if you enjoy the video at any time, hit that thumb up button. That would be amazeballs. Also, guys, leave me some comments down below. I'll heart cool comments. I want you guys to comment if you agree or disagree with any of the things that are on my list. Maybe you would rank something higher or lower. I don't want people to get the idea that this video is kind of like degrading any of these arcade games, because I talk to a lot of these arcade companies. They're awesome. I love all these games, and there's nothing against any of the makers of these games. So I just want to kind of get that out there. This isn't a ranking system of which games are great and which games suck. It's just which games are going to give you your better value if you're playing for tickets. I'm going to give a little bit of insight on each game for those that might not be familiar with some of these games, and then I'm just going to kind of rank them here. So Big Bass Wheel. It's a game where it's a very easy game. Anybody can play. You just push a lever down, the wheel spins, and whatever you land on. It's kind of like a Price is Right wheel. High jackpots on this game usually, depending on the arcade. Arcades have different ticket values, so like Chuck E. Cheese is going to have way different ticket values than a Dave & Buster's. Chuck E. Cheese always has very, very low ticket values, so the top prize at Chuck E. Cheese might be like 100 tickets, whereas Dave & Buster's is usually like 1,000 or, you know, the 2,500 for the mega jackpot. But usually this game, price per play wise, is very, very expensive, and it's a lot of luck. It's all luck, really. I mean, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with me on this. So we got everything from S being amazeballs, which I should have just had as A, but whatever. So S means is like top, phenomenal, and then F is like eh. I'm gonna have to say D. I mean, I would go E, but since this game usually does give a decent amount of tickets and you can hit a pretty big jackpot on it, I'll give it a D. So Crossy Roads. This game I actually prefer. It took me a while to actually get really good at this game. But you can actually, this is a very safe game to play if you practice and get the timing down and everything. You can at least get 100 tickets on this game, no problem. And that's usually at any arcade too, depending on what the settings are. So this is a good go-to game. Say you need like maybe just a couple hundred more tickets for like a PS4 or something huge. Crossy Roads is a really good go-to game for that. So that's why. But the thing is, usually you're not going to hit like the mega jackpot, and the mega jackpot is usually maxed at 500. Most of them are around 250 if you beat the high score, the current high score. I'd give it a B because it does have a decent jackpot, and if you're really good at this game, you can hit it consistently. Down the Clown. Now this is one that's going to be personal preference, because I am terrible at throwing games, guys. Like, I can't throw anything. I don't know what my deal is here. So for me, now for my buddy Mike, Mewtwo, he was in one of my older videos. He's amazing at this game. He like doesn't miss a clown, and he can hit the jackpot every time. So this game would probably be, I know for a fact, is an S for him. So Mewtwo, there is your tier maker, your tier list right here for, I know Down the Clown would be up there, but for me personally, this is again me personally, to say D on that, because the jackpot's not great. And unless you're really, really good at throwing games, you would be lucky to get maybe 20, 30 tickets, average player. So that's why I'm gonna give it a D. This next game here is Gold Fishing. This game, you toss ping pong balls into like bowls. It's like a carnival game. A lot of luck in this. As far as this game, it usually does have a decent jackpot. Like, I've seen ones that are usually the average is around 500 tickets, but you have to hit a certain score, and it's only hittable at like certain times of the day. So I think it will go again here on the D. The D row, guys, for me personally, because it depends on where jackpot is, and once you hit at the jackpot, and the score you have to get the jackpot increases, and it gets harder throughout the day. So that's why I'm giving it a D. It's not a great go-to game, but it might be a good go-to game if you just want to maybe try it once and just be like, okay, or if the high score to beat is low, if it's maybe like 1,000 points, which is like as low as it goes, I think, then you might want to try it once or twice to see if you can hit 500 tickets or whatever the jackpot is. This one here is Grand Piano Keys, and for me, it's a fun game, but for ticket-wise, it's the lowest on the thing. There is no jackpot for this game. It does pay tickets, and you just tap. It's almost like DDR, but you tap like big piano keys, and you know, whatever. There's no jackpot on this game. Usually the most amount of tickets you can win is like 50 or 75, so it's definitely, and usually it's a pretty pricey per play, so that's why it gets lowest on my rank here. Again, it's not a bash against the game itself. It's just in regards to like tickets. There's no jackpot on this game, so that's why I gotta give it a low score in my personal preference here. Let's Bounce. This is a game where you bounce ping pong balls on these little squares, and you have to light up all the squares. And if you light up all the squares in round one, you get a bonus round, and you have to light up as many other lights, and you get extra points. And you have to beat a certain score to get. There's like a very, very mini jackpot on this game. It's very low though. It's usually like 100 tickets at like a Dave & Buster's, is like 120 tickets or something. So I mean, I'd say it's a tad bit better than Grand Piano Keys. So that's why I'm gonna put it on E, because it has like a little teeny tiny jackpot. Next game here, Monster Drop, guys, is one of my favorite go-to games. There is skill to this game, believe it or not, and the idea is to time the ball to just swish through the jackpot or the drop bonus balls if the drop bonus balls are high. And it can be done on certain machines. I've done it, and once you get the timing down, you can hit it. It is a good game, and you can win a lot of tickets on this game, especially depending on if you get that monster jackpot. That's a little more luck. You can usually the regular jackpot is kind of more consistently hittable depending on the machine. But the fact that this game usually has some of the highest ticket jackpots in an arcade that you can get, it's a really good go-to game, and that's why I gotta give it an A on my personal list. It would be between an A and a B, but it's definitely better than Crossy Roads, given the fact that it does give more tickets, and it can be somewhat consistent if you find a machine that's timeable. So Pop the Luck, I'm gonna say right now, is one of my favorite arcade ticket games that's currently out right now. This game does take a lot of practice to get down, but once you get it down, you can usually hit it pretty consistently. My record on Pop the Lock personally is 6 jackpots in a row at Dave & Buster's, and that would have given me 350 tickets per jackpot. Even though the jackpot's not ginormous, it's still usually mid-range. You'll find them anywhere from 300 to 500 tickets if you get all 50. If I'm playing just to get tickets, Pop the Lock's one of the games that I'm going to. So that's why it's getting an S, a super amazeballs spot on my tier list here. So great game, but again, does require lots of practice, especially the last 10 or so. There's 3 that are spaced out, and you got to kind of anticipate where they are. Quick Drop is a game where you have to drop 50 red balls into the buckets. These buckets spin around. You have to drop all 50. If you miss one, you are not eligible for the jackpot. You get like 50 tickets usually, or 40 or something like that. But if you get all 50, jackpots can range. I've seen machines anywhere from 250 for the jackpot all the way up to 1,000. This game, it depends. There's a lot of variables with this game because it depends on the arcade, depends on what they have the settings on. This is a 100% skill game no matter what settings it's on. If the arcade wants to give you less time, then you have to do more buckets of 5, which buckets of 5 are very, very, very difficult. They're possible, but especially when you have to do like 5 or 6 buckets of 5, then it's like very, very tough. Some arcades may have it where you only have to do 1 or 2 buckets of 5, and the rest you can do 4s. So, and then it becomes a little bit more of a promising game for tickets, but I'm gonna give it a C only because, and it's mid-range. Yes, I'm putting it a little bit below Crossroads because this game is a little more inconsistent as far as, you know, you can be dead on every time with your strike points, but depending on the dropper, some of them go left and right and the balls are flying everywhere. You guys don't want balls flying everywhere. It's not good. All right, so this next game here might be a little hard to see is Gear It Up. Gear It Up is a game by Bob Space Racers, guys. This is a really fun game. I love this game. The jackpots usually are not ginormous, but there are jackpots. And this game usually isn't very expensive per play. So, And this game is all skill and timing. The bonus, there's going for the bonus, it does increase. There's like a bonus on here. That one's iffy, but if you go, there's 100 ticket spot on the wheel when you get the wheel up top, and you can hit that every time if you stop at the light when it's on the bonus up top at 12 o'clock. If you stop it when it's up there, you usually land on the 100. I am going to still give it an A because it is very consistent, and once you just get the timing down on the machine and practice a little bit, you can hit it almost every time, and it's a good way to rack, 100 tickets, usually gives you like 130 tickets after all the other extra little levels. This is just a skee ball game. Usually arcades will have skee ball. Fun game. Like I said, I'm not dissing the actual game, but for tickets, it depends on actually the skee ball game. I shouldn't say that. The ice ball games usually do have a jackpot, and it depends on what the jackpot is. There's so many variables with this game. There's so many variations of skee ball, and unless you can hit, see, I'm personally not good at this game, so I'm probably gonna have to give it an E. So this next one here is a SpongeBob coin push, and I have two types of coin pushers on here, so we're gonna actually do these next. So SpongeBob coin pusher I actually prefer over most of the other ones, even though it is an older coin pusher. The reason I like this coin pusher is because it gives you tickets for every silver token that goes over the edge. This is a card collecting coin pusher game, but it's one of the few that actually give you ticket reward for every token that falls over. Whereas like Wizard of Oz and like the Willy Wonka, which we're going to get to shortly, those don't give you rewards when you knock the silver coins over. They only give you rewards for the cards, or sometimes they have these little colored chips, which aren't as cool as the coins, and you don't get the colored little plastic chips as much as you do regular metal coins. Almost 2,000 the cat behind me, guys. The cat is always here, man. Look at her. What a goober you are. Why must you do this? You smell like cat litter, dude. Ew. Alright, the licking needs to end. You're slobbering all over the place. God. The problem is it's usually pretty pricey, so I'm gonna have to give it a C. I'm gonna have to give it mid-range. Willy Wonka coin pusher. This one's kind of like the Wizard of Oz ones and the Star Trek, where you don't get tickets for the silver tokens over. You only get tickets for if you redeem single cards, an entire set. So I'm gonna have to say E on it because it's usually a little pricey of a game too. So simply because it's newer. Okay, so these here are ticket time claw machines. So these you win actual tickets. You RFID chip, boom, and it goes right to your card. These are You can win the highest value that are in these, at least in arcades by me, are 500 tickets, but that's a heavy roll and you don't win that every time. You can usually snag, if you see a 200 in there, you can snag that. It usually holds on to it because it's lighter. We'll give it mid-range because it's not terrible. I have won 500 tickets out of this in one grab. So next we're gonna go to this game's Treasure Quest. It's a wheel. It's kind of like Big Bass Wheel. You spin the wheel. And a little thing lands on a ticket value. It's a very simple game. It's like all luck, basically. You can win a decent amount of tickets on this. Usually the arcade will have, Dave & Buster's just has a top prize of 1,000 tickets, which is really good. But it's super hard to hit. So I'd probably have to put this with the Big Bass Wheel row because it's very similar to that game. Zombie Snatcher is a prize arm game where pucks go around and you move the arm and you have to swoop off pucks and you get different values. There's a jackpot to this game, which Tower of Tickets does not have, but the jackpot has been lowered in a lot of arcades now. It starts at only like 500 tickets, whereas it used to start at like 1,500. Then it was way more worth it to go for the jackpot. There is a 500 ticket valued puck in Zombie Snatcher. There's usually only one or two out in the playfield. Still a very good go-to game though, especially if you're Dave & Buster's. If you get the practice and if you kind of wait for the 500 to come out, wait for some other people to play. If yours has auto vend, which most of them should now. But I'd have to give it a B simply because you can win a large amount of tickets in just one quick swipe. It's a quick game. A quick way, like you can literally snag hundreds of tickets in like a half a second playing this game. So that's why I gotta give it a B. Now, Tower of Tickets, it's kind of little competitor rival here. Tower of Tickets is probably my favorite arcade ticket game that is out there. I think it's even better than Pop the Lock simply because it has 1,000 usually. Now this will vary by arcade, but most arcades should have 1,000 ticket puck inside this machine. Now, if it doesn't, some arcades might not have it, so I'm not promising that every arcade is going to have the 1,000 ticket thing in here. But usually there's like a 750 in there, a 500, and it goes down from there. But if there's 1,000 in here, this game is 100% up on the list. Probably my number one game. We're gonna put it like number one. And the reason being, 100% skill. The award that this game gives, that 1,000 tickets, is phenomenal. The fact that you can snag that in like a fraction of a second playing this game makes it phenomenal. And once you get the practice and the timing down, you can hit the 1,000 and like the 500 and the 750 pucks more often. And it's a great go-to game if you want to rack up a high amount of tickets quick. So all these games, guys, are going to require practice. So you can't just like go up to it and expect to just win a gajillion tickets, you know, right away. Unless you're playing one of the lucky games like, you know, Monster Drop or Big Bass Wheel, you might get lucky. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the official Arcade Matt arcade ticket game tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different, but I thought this would give you guys some insight on some of the ticket games that I prefer, because I do get this question all the time, you know, like what games should I play? What are the best games to play at the arcade? Hopefully this gives you guys some insight. Again guys, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your tier list. And if you agree with any of mine or disagree, maybe you would rank a certain game higher or lower than mine, let me know. I read all my comments, guys. I try to read as many as I can, and I will heart cool comments. I rip my heart out and put it on your comment. That's how cool you guys are. Again, if you love arcade games and the like, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified of brand new uploads. And like we always say, thanks for watching.